Imagine standing on a world so old, it actually watched our galaxy being born. A planet that, by all accounts, should be a ghost, but somehow it's still there. Now, picture another world, a beautiful, sapphire blue giant that looks like a paradise from a distance. But if you get closer, you find a living nightmare where it doesn't rain water, but molten glass, falling sideways at thousands of miles an hour. These aren't just ideas from some sci-fi script. These are real places. They're cosmic glitches, impossibilities that astronomers have actually found and studied. These are the planets that break the rules of how planets are made, what they're made of, and even how they should behave. They are worlds that, for all intents and purposes, just shouldn't exist. But they do. Our journey into the impossible starts with a planet that basically spits in the face of time itself. It's a world so ancient it's nicknamed Methuselah, and for good reason. Its official name is PSR B1620-26b. Discovered way back in 1993, this planet isn't just old, it's practically a fossil from the dawn of the universe. Think about it this way. Our Earth is about 4.5 billion years old. Our Milky Way Galaxy is just over 13 billion years old. Methuselah is estimated to be a mind-blowing 12.7 billion years old. That means it was born when the universe was just a baby. It's a survivor that has seen almost the entire history of the cosmos unfold. This ancient giant, about 2.5 times the mass of Jupiter, doesn't orbit a normal, sun-like star. Oh no, that would be far too simple. Instead, it orbits a truly bizarre and violent pair of stellar corpses. Its parents are a pulsar and a white dwarf. A pulsar is a super-dense, rapidly spinning core of a massive star that exploded. It's like a cosmic lighthouse, blasting beams of radiation through space. Its partner is a white dwarf, the cooling, dead ember of a smaller star. This whole crazy family lives about 12,400 light years away inside a globular cluster known as Messier 4. Globular clusters are these ancient, jam-packed cities of stars, and they're the last place you'd expect to find planets. The stars are too crowded and the whole environment is missing the heavy elements, the metals, that are the basic building blocks for planets. And yet there's Methuselah, a gas giant that not only formed but has survived for nearly 13 billion years in this chaotic place. It's a ghost from a time before we thought the rules of planet formation were even written. It shouldn't be there, but it is. We all know Saturn, right? The jewel of our solar system with its beautiful, shimmering rings. But what if I told you there's a planet out there with rings that make Saturn's look like a joke? A planet with a ring system so colossal that if it were in our solar system, it would dominate the night sky and appear way bigger than the full moon. Meet J1407b, a planet people have started calling Super Saturn. Astronomers found it because of how it made its star flicker and dim back in 2007. For 56 straight days, the star's light blinked in a really complex way, at one point dimming by 95%. The only thing that could explain it was a gigantic ring system orbiting something massive. And we're not talking about a few dozen rings like Saturn has. J1407b seems to have over 30 distinct rings, and the whole system stretches out an incredible 120 million kilometers. That's almost 200 times bigger than Saturn's rings. The planet itself, J1407b, is thought to be a massive gas giant or maybe even a brown dwarf, a failed star, somewhere between 10 and 40 times the mass of Jupiter. And its ring system is packed with material, maybe as much as the entire mass of Earth. What's really wild is that astronomers have found gaps in these rings. Just like the gaps in Saturn's rings are carved out by its moons, these gaps strongly hint that we're seeing new moons, exoplanets, being born right now. The sheer existence of J1407b and its rings pushes our theories to the absolute limit. How could a ring system this massive even stay together? The planet has a long oval-shaped orbit, which should make the rings incredibly unstable. The star's gravity ought to just tear them apart. The fact that they seem to exist is a huge mystery. We're still waiting to see it pass in front of its star a second time confirm everything. But the evidence points to a world that is in every sense a true Lord of the Rings. For years, it was nothing but science fiction. That iconic image of a hero watching two suns set over a desert horizon. A planet that orbits two stars at once. A circumbinary planet. For the longest time, astronomers figured this was pure fantasy. The gravitational tug-of-war between two stars was thought to be way too chaotic for a planet to form, let alone stick around. Any new world would either get fried, frozen after being flung into deep space, or just ripped to shreds. A stable orbit seemed impossible. And then we found Kepler 16b, discovered by the Kepler Space Telescope. Kepler 16b is the first real-life Tatooine. It's a cold, Saturn-sized gas giant, located about 245 light-years from us. And yes, it orbits two stars. The two stars are locked in a tight little dance. One is a star smaller and cooler than our sun. The other is a tiny red dwarf. And circling both of them, in a stable orbit that takes 229 days, is Kepler 16b. Finding it was an amazing piece of detective work. Kepler found it by watching for the dip in starlight as a planet passes in front of its star. But here, they saw the two stars dimming each other as they orbited, which was expected. But then they saw extra dimming events, when neither star was blocking the other. That was a telltale sign of a third body, a planet, orbiting the pair. The existence of Kepler 16b completely changed our ideas about where planets can pop up. It proved that worlds with two suns aren't just possible, but they might even be common, since most sun-like stars in our galaxy have a partner. While Kepler 16b itself is a cold gas giant, it hangs out near the edge of its system's habitable zone. It makes you wonder, could there be an Earth-like world out there somewhere, with two suns in its sky? A world that, according to our old models, has no business being there at all. Get ready for a planet that seems to break the laws of physics. Imagine a world where ice is literally on fire. A world wrapped in an atmosphere heated to a blistering 439 degrees Celsius. At that temperature, water should instantly boil away into steam. And yet, on this planet, scientists believe there's an entire ocean's worth of water that's frozen solid. Welcome to the baffling, logic-defying world of Gliese 436. Gliese 436b is a Neptune-sized planet orbiting a red dwarf star about 33 light-years away. When they found it, it was a huge puzzle. Its size and mass suggested it should be full of water, but its temperature is scorching hot. So, how can you have solid water? The answer lies in a strange phase of matter called ice X. This isn't the ice in your drink. This is a special high-pressure ice that only forms under immense gravity on Gliese 436b. The planet's gravity is so powerful it squeezes the water molecules with incredible force. This crushing pressure is so strong that it overpowers the heat from the star. The water molecules are packed so tightly they can't escape as steam, no matter how hot it gets. They're locked into a solid block. The result is a planet that is quite literally a world of burning ice. And the weirdness doesn't stop there. The planet's atmosphere should be full of methane, but for some reason, it's not. It has way more carbon monoxide than our models can explain, which suggests some unknown process is churning up its atmosphere from deep inside. On top of all that, the planet is literally evaporating. Radiation from its star is stripping away its atmosphere, creating a gigantic, comet-like tail of gas that stretches for millions of miles behind it. Gliese 436b is a world of contradictions. A hot planet with a solid ocean, and an atmosphere that makes no sense. I in the cosmic dance between stars and planets. You assume the star is in charge. But sometimes, that relationship turns predatory. Sometimes, a star starts to eat its own child. This is a tragic, violent story of WASP 12b, a doomed world being actively consumed by the very star that gives it light to WASP. 12b is a hot Jupiter, a type of gas giant that orbits dangerously close to its star. But WASP 12b takes close to a whole new level. It orbits its star from just over 3.4 million kilometers away. For comparison, Earth is 150 million kilometers from the Sun. It's so close that a year on WASP 12b, one full trip around its star, takes just over 26 hours. And being this close has had catastrophic results. First, the intense radiation has cooked its atmosphere to over 2,200 degrees Celsius, making it one of the hottest planets ever found. But the heat is the least of its worries. The star's gravity is literally ripping the planet to pieces. WASP 12b is so close. It has crossed the Roche limit, the point where the star's tidal forces are stronger than the planet's own gravity. The star is pulling so hard on the planet that it's been stretched from a sphere into a bizarre, egg-like shape. As the planet gets stretched, its atmosphere is being sucked away into a massive river gas that spirals down into the star. The planet is being eaten alive, losing about 6 billion metric tons of mass every single second. We are watching this planet's death spiral happen in real time. Astronomers have measured its orbit and confirmed that it's decaying. With every pass, it gets a tiny bit closer to the star and its fiery end. Scientists estimate that WASP 12b has, at most, about 3 million years left. In cosmic terms, that's the blink of an eye. We're witnessing a rare and violent act of stellar cannibalism, a planet that exists only in a state of being unmade. From a distance, it might be the most beautiful exoplanet we've ever seen. A deep, rich, cobalt blue, just like our own peaceful Earth. It's a world that, from 64 light years away, seems almost inviting. But if you get any closer to this dazzling blue marble, the illusion shatters, revealing one of the most violent and nightmarish places in the universe. This is HD 189733b, the planet of sideways glass rain. Like a lot of planets on this list, it's a hot Jupiter. But its stunning blue color doesn't come from an ocean. That beautiful shade is actually the color of death. It comes from light scattering off silicate particles high in the atmosphere. Silicate is basically the main ingredient in sand and glass. On this planet, the daytime temperature soars to over 930 degrees Celsius, hot enough to vaporize those particles into tiny droplets of molten glass. And this is where the true horror begins. The planet is being blasted by some of the fastest winds ever measured, howling at speeds up to 8,700 kilometers per hour. That's more than 7 times the speed of sound. These supersonic winds catch those molten glass droplets and whip them sideways through the atmosphere in a perpetual storm. It literally rains glass, horizontally, faster than jet fighter. Anything that dared enter this atmosphere would be instantly shredded by a storm of tiny glass shards, as if that wasn't bad enough. The James Webb Space Telescope recently added another fun detail to this hellscape. It detected hydrogen sulfide in the atmosphere, the molecule that gives rotten eggs their lovely smell. So, not only is it a world of supersonic, sideways glass rain, but it also smells absolutely terrible. HD 189733b is a beautiful monster, a perfect example of how looks can be deceiving on a cosmic scale. We've arrived at number 1, the peak of cosmic impossibility. A planet that is part hell, part treasure chest. Picture a world with 2 faces. One side is permanently locked facing its star, making a seething ocean of molten lava. The other side is shrouded in eternal, freezing darkness. And deep beneath this horrifying surface, under unbelievable pressure and heat, could be the galaxy's greatest treasure, a core made of pure diamond. This is 55 Cancri, the diamond planet, located just 41 light years away. 55 Cancri is a super-Earth, a rocky world about twice as wide as our planet, but 9 times more massive. It orbits its star so closely that its year lasts for just 18 hours. This has caused the planet to become tidally locked, with one side forever roasting and the other forever frozen. The day side of this planet is a true vision of hell. Temperatures hit around 2,200 degrees Celsius, hot enough to melt rock. Scientists believe this entire half of the planet is just a global ocean of bubbling lava. But here's where it gets really weird. The James Webb Space Telescope detected an atmosphere. A planet this hot and this close to its star should have had its atmosphere blasted away ages ago. And yet, 55 Cancri seems to have a thick atmosphere, which is probably being constantly replenished by the lava ocean itself as it bubbles and outgasses. But the most incredible part lies deep inside. The planet is thought to be extremely rich in carbon. Given its huge mass and the crushing pressures in its core, scientists have theorized that all that carbon has been squeezed into solid diamond. An entire planetary mantle, thousands of kilometers thick, could be made of it. It's a treasure beyond imagination, buried beneath an ocean of fire. 55 Cancri challenges everything we thought we knew about rocky planets. It's a world of impossible extremes, a planet of fire and diamond, and the one planet that, above all others, simply shouldn't exist. So there you have it. From an ancient ghost orbiting dead stars to a glittering diamond hell, we've journeyed to the absolute edges of what's possible. We've seen worlds being eaten alive and skies with two suns. We've seen rain made of glass and ice that burns. Each one of these planets proves a simple, humbling truth. The universe is not limited by our imagination. It is wilder and weirder than we can possibly comprehend. They remind us that we're just beginning to understand what's out there, and the biggest mysteries are still waiting to be found. So, which of these impossible worlds blew your mind the most? Was it the sideways glass rain of HD 189733b, or the idea of a planet older than our own galaxy? Let us know down in the comments. And if you love exploring the biggest and strangest mysteries in space, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. You won't want to miss what we have coming up next. We're leaving planets behind and looking at the most terrifying moons in the galaxy.